Welcome to
Take Off Your Pod and Cast It
Again. I didn't think we'd do another one of these.
Really?
I didn't think we'd be here talking about what we're talking about here.
Yes.
Because I just feel like for the last year of us doing this podcast, I've just been like trying to and getting really close to it. And like, I keep getting so close. It's like I'm getting there, but I'm not getting there yet. And every time I think I'm getting there, I stop myself.
Uh-huh.
And I want to get there so bad.
Because it just feels like it would be too much.
It would be too much.
And we don't deserve it.
No,
not yet.
We don't.
We don't want to push you to the edge.
No.
But luckily, there has been a release.
We have. They're coming.
They're coming.
Coming.
I'm Ken.
I'm Ripley.
I'm Nick.
And we're back. I did not think we'd be back this soon.
Yeah.
Not with new music.
I think I didn't re-listen to the last episode, but I feel like maybe I was more hopeful about this than you.
Yeah. I really was expecting another Matt album.
Uh-huh. Which they recorded, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, with Lil Uzi Vert and Halsey and Grimes.
Weird.
Yeah. Let's not bury the lead any longer. Tom is back.
Yeah!
Oh, my God. It's been a long, long road. We've been edging for months, but we're back.
It's been such a long build-up.
Last few months been good for you other than, do we want to talk about that before we get into this?
Talk about what?
Our personal lives.
Oh, yeah.
You doing good?
Yeah. Never
You
been
doing
better
great?
all my life.
Yeah, we just got back from AFI cover band practice.
We did. If you hear this before then, October 29th, we're playing Fuzzy Cactus.
Yeah, the Fuzzy Cactus, yeah.
As we're doing a bunch of AFI songs.
You went to some festivals. You saw Green Day a couple times.
I did. This is also a Green Day podcast episode. They're just a little in the not as important zone right now. Yeah. But yeah, I've seen the boys. I went to Firefly Music Festival where I also saw Halsey, who you just mentioned, and My Chemical Romance was the reason I went. The main reason I went, because just value wise, you can't get tickets to My Chemical Romance even in nosebleeds for less than $1,000. But at a festival, $350 for the weekend. It was just a deal.
How was MCR? I haven't asked you about that.
I have no complaints, but what I remembered during their set was, I actually only really, really love like 6 or 7 MCR songs and literally don't care about the rest at all.
Brutal.
They're a band that I hated on in high school because that was when I was all angry about people getting into punk rock later than me because they still thought I was a nerd.
Of course.
But they were into punk rock, and I was like, fuck this band, the cool people like them.
Yeah.
But like, as I've grown older, like, I've grown to appreciate MCR more and more and more every year.
Mm-hmm. I really only needed to hear Black Parade live. I had seen them 4 times because they opened for Green Day a couple of times, and I saw them once with The Used, like forever fucking ago. But it was before the Black Parade came out, which is the album I really got really into. So I've just been wanting to see that. And it was also a week after Clerks 3 came out, which opens with an entire visual. The visuals of Clerks 3 are set to Welcome to the Black Parade.
Okay.
And it all lines up lyrically. And so like, after waiting years for Clerks 3, finally seeing My Chemical Romance do it,
nice.
And then associating it with this thing, I was just like, this fucking rocks. I love it.
Did you see what Gerard Way said today or yesterday? This pod will come out after this happens, so...
That Mikey's coming back?
No.
He was there.
So Gerard Way said that their next 5 shows, the last 5 shows of their tour... They're going to be focusing on each of the albums. The next 5 shows.
Oh, so there's a new album.
They only have 4 albums.
Right.
Oh.
So everyone thinks that 5th show they're going to play the new album all the way through.
That's what city is that in?
I can't remember. I think it ends in Chicago or something.
Sure.
But yeah, that sounds like we're going to have new MCR soon, new Blink.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, it was a big week for Ken Edwards. I mean, October 14th, we get new Blink single. We get new Green Day release. And there's a new Chili Peppers album out today.
That's what we're going to be talking about. Klinghoffer out, Tom in.
Yes. It's interchangeable.
Make any exciting developments on your end?
Not a thing.
That sucks. We got engaged.
I was going to say congrats. Very in the least, congrats.
You put me on the spot. I panicked.
Yeah. I haven't been to any shows in a really long time, man. We saw Weird Al. I think that might have been the last one I've been to.
We did. I just found out earlier that Anti-Flag played last night
They
here
did.
in Richmond, and I had no idea.
I knew about it. I didn't go. I was at the Canal Club, and I'm still not sure if we're allowed there.
They don't know us. I mean, it's fun to say we're not allowed there.
So we ended this podcast in June. Mm-hmm. I would like to play a clip from the very last episode, a conversation between you and Mick.
Yes. Last time I saw her,
And
she was
they've used
standing at
that
the edge.
standing on the edge thing in other songs, too.
Yeah. These always got edge imagery. They do love edging. They're a jack-off band. That shit is nuts.
Yeah, we predicted this. So we knew already that this was coming. We're not surprised in the slightest. July 28th, about a month and a half after we finished the podcast, they said they're going to be announcing some stuff for the 30th anniversary on August 3rd. August 3rd celebrates 30 years of Blink-182, and they announced that they're going to be posting some shit in celebration of it. People lose their goddamn mind.
Mm-hmm. That Reddit was insufferable.
God, it was really insane. I unfollowed it.
Me too.
I followed it back this week.
Same.
I do not know about this Reddit thread. What happened?
Oh, just the Blink-182 Reddit. Every third post is Tom back? Is Tom back? And it's been that way for 7 years now. And then you'd get people posting things like, Travis Barker just unfollowed Blink-182 on Instagram. He's out of the band. Confirmed. Like, these are adults and you're clearly not.
You just have too much time.
Seriously. But yeah, so July 28th is when this announcement of an announcement comes. The next 5 days, absolute chaos.
Announcement of an announcement. Fuck
I hate
this social
that shit.
media. It's
Yeah.
like, trailers for trailers.
Yeah. And I'm texting you like, hey, I think on Monday we're going to have to do a show. This was months ago. I'm like, I think like what's going to happen is there's going to be a show because Tom is coming back. And a radio station in Chicago announces it on like the 28th. They're like, everyone knows Tom's coming back and Blink's going to announce it on the 3rd. This radio station in Chicago says so. And a bunch of not news, but like news conglomerate sites pick this up. And the same thing happened this week where like a bunch of shitty websites that just compile stories for clicks and for ad revenue picked up this story that Tom is back and Blink is going to announce it on August 3rd. It's going all over the place. People are freaking out. And I'm like, Ken,
Did we get a name of this DJ? Did anyone?
I didn't do that much research,
No.
but yeah, this guy got trashed.
Okay, good.
Like, everyone was pissed at him. And so August 3rd comes around, and the big announcement is this. Blink-182 Funko Pops. But it's the original lineup. Tom's there.
And they're all shirtless with
it's
they're
the What's
actually
My-
naked.
Yeah, it's the What's My Age Again video. Butts and everything.
Wow.
That's it. Some new merch.
I mean, that's a pretty sneaky way to put the idea of Tom in people's heads without.
And Tom was sharing this on his Instagram and hyping it up, the happy 30th to Blink thing.
Look at their cute little butts. This is the most
cute little
I've ever
butts.
enjoyed a Funko Pop. Can I go on my Funko Pop rant real quick?
Go for it.
Look, I'm not going to shit on people who need merch. I don't really understand the desire for merch to prove my fandom of anything. But what I don't get is how this specific brand, like what is it about this aesthetic that blew up over everything? Big heads and like dead cold eyes. I want to
really pushed
I want
it,
to see every character I've ever known with a bigger head and no whites in their eyes,
And
just pupils.
Like I'm in a lot of fandoms, and there are a lot of Funko Pops of things that I like. I don't want any of them.
Yeah.
They're ugly to me. I don't know.
They look like emojis to me. So, like, I see, like, the progression of, like, oh, okay, that's what a celebrity or a character would look like if you put it in a phone or
like
something.
a simplified artsy way to display something. I wouldn't care if it weren't the one thing that took over. I'm a white guy with no culture, so I have to pick things to bitch about.
I think that they are like fall in the same category as like sports card collecting or Pokemon card collecting, where there's no real use for it. It's not really enjoyed by anyone, but people keep pushing the
Did you say Pokemon cards were not enjoyed
that
by
fair.
anyone?
I apologize. I'm being
Okay.
bigoted about Pokemon cards. Apparently,
Wow, a little personal take
the
there.
like inflated collectability of them.
Clearly, Ripley's never caught them all.
Well, no, because you can play the Pokemon card game with like 10-cent cards, but the super hyper rare Charizards and things is very much just someone says they're collectible, so they're collectible and worth money.
Yeah.
And that's what I think Funko Pops are. I'm not dissing Pokemon the card game. I think it's great, and I wish I knew how to play it, but like there's this inflated collectability of these things that
You're one of the biggest Magic players I know, and you don't know how to play Pokemon cards?
I don't. I have the basic understanding of it.
Trust me, you know how to play Pokemon.
So the Funko Pops are out.
If Blink-182 or Pokemon cards, Mark is a circle, the most common. Travis is a diamond, rarer, and Tom's the star hologram, ultra rare.
Yeah, absolutely. And Matt is the misprint that's worth like millions of dollars because nobody has it.
Yeah.
The other great thing that comes out on this day, and I can't find the back of it, but is a shirt with the guys from Workaholics on the front, and it says Blink-182, and the back of this shirt says, I like the old Blink better.
That's really funny.
And that's just another, like, people like, Tom's back, man. They've got this shirt about the old Blink. No, it's a dumb joke. It's like when people were making Black Flag shirts that said Beach Boys on them and stuff.
Dude, that's a perfect one-to-one. I've never thought to equate Workaholics to Blink, but that makes so much sense.
And then Mark finally goes on his Discord. I need to get in on this Discord.
Yeah, I can't do another thing,
I know.
but I always want to.
But August 3rd rolls around, and people are mad at Blink for, like, no announcement happening. They're getting mad that they've been hyped up for this big thing and nothing happens. So Mark goes in and says, there's no news to share. There's no announcement. Today is 30 years of Blink-182. If and when Blink has any announcements about anything, you'll hear it from official Blink-182 outlets, not teased on a radio station like, tune in for a major announcement. Tom tagged Mark in a photo from 2 decades ago. He's pissed.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, looking back on it now, he's mad because it was ruined for him. I now think that they were going to announce it back then.
Tell me your theory.
I think that they had planned to do it, and some outlets ruined their plan, and they were like, you know, we don't want to give these assholes that stole our thunder the, like, chance to be right. Let's not announce it.
That's interesting. That would have been maybe better.
So then we're going to flash forward to exactly a week ago tonight, and a, like, TikTok from the Lollapalooza thing releases a, like, video of someone, like, rolling up posters for Lollapalooza Brazil. And in very grainy, tiny phone, you can kind of make out a 182 in the top corner. And, like, if Blink-182 were on a Lollapalooza poster with Matt Skiba a year ago, they'd be, like, third.
Right.
In, like, on the rows. They would be at, like, not in the top row of bands.
Right.
But they were in the very top row.
Like the Firefly Festival I just went to, it had the 4 headliner names. So the main headliner of the night I went to on top, and then the first name on the second row, much smaller letters, was Weezer.
Yeah.
It would have been like that.
They would have been
equivalent.
like that, yeah. So that is, like, a a real clue to me, because I'm like, you're right. No, they wouldn't be on the top of this poster.
Unless Lollapalooza was like, I don't know. Everyone said no.
Well, no, because like Drake and someone else big that I don't know or care about. That's not true. No, Billie Eilish.
That's right.
I like Billie Eilish.
Yes.
And Drake were the other two headliners. But like Blink was before Drake. So something big had to be happening.
Crazy.
Yeah. So that's the first thing. And then, so these posters start coming up in cities that say 182 Industries Edging Services.
That's so funny.
I get this promoted ad on Reddit that says, your future is about to come. 182 Industries Edging Services Worldwide. Your future is coming with a U in the blink of an eye. 182.com. It's a dead link at the time. This starts showing up on my Instagram and my Reddit as a promoted post. And I'm freaking...
I got it too.
This is not like there's nothing else that could be, right?
But like, since it was a promoted post, like I just went right past it. I never see any ad. Like, and then you pointed it out and I was like, holy shit, it's popping up on my shit too.
It was nuts, right?
Yeah.
And this was like, oh shit, they're planning something big. And once again, if Blink-182 is just making an album with Matt Skiba, they're not making this many dick jokes.
Right.
Matt Skiba's not the funny one. He never was. He's the dark brooding goth guy they got to fill in for the funny one.
Funny sounding.
Yeah. This is big to me. I'm like, all right. So I'm like, all right, let me check in on the Reddit and see if they're having a meltdown. They were.
Yeah.
It was, y'all need, I know that most of our listeners found us from the Blink-182 subreddit, but touch grass. Touch a little bit of grass.
Dude, Reddit is my favorite social media, and it drives me fucking nuts.
Yeah, I think I've uninstalled it about 8 times.
Yeah, it's my true social media addiction, for real.
The problem with it is, would you have known about all this without Reddit? Like, I hate Reddit, but this is where things happen first.
Are we going to talk about these screenshot like pictures on here? Because I'm already recognizing one face from a music video.
Yeah, so these are all like F-list YouTubers, actors, and comedians.
Well, I only recognize one of them. I knew one of them as soon as he popped up on screen.
Who's that?
John Gabris is the guy with the sunglasses. He hosts a show called 100 Places to Party Before You Die, and he and who's his co-host?
Oh, is that the one that was at Penny Lane? Or no?
they just came to Richmond. They did an episode in Richmond at a bunch of places, so I just watched him in that. So if I had like paid any attention to this, I would have been like, oh fuck, this is like,
but it just looks like a dumb ad.
Yeah, it does. It's really well done.
So the first thing that I noticed is the guy in the punk jacket up here and the guy in the punk jacket here, their backgrounds connect. That was my first, like, this is a shot from a video or something. They're in the same background, which, like, because I'm becoming a detective at this point.
Good catch, wow.
And I, like, text this to you and the Being Gay chat, and starting to get real
That's
hype
the band
about
chat, by the way.
Yeah.
Being Gay.
So everyone's like, when is this announcement happening? Because this started showing up on Saturday or Sunday, I think. And Monday rolls around and nothing happens. However, these billboards start showing up in Peru and Mexico City. They picked the weirdest fucking places, but billboards that just say Blink-182 and this new logo start showing up. So something's happening. And these posters are being found all over New York City and stuff like that. Tuesday morning, this video comes out. Let's take a watch.
All right, let's do it.
If I'm being totally honest, I cannot stop thinking about them coming.
I've tried hundreds of different ways to make them come.
Every night, I pray for them to come.
My husband and I would love to watch them come.
If they come, I'm getting hammered.
We would do anything to make them come.
That's right, honey. Anything.
If they come, I'm gonna explode.
Could you imagine all 3 of them coming?
That'd be sick.
If they're gonna come, I better start stretching.
Wait until I tell my grandkids they're coming.
Oh, they're gonna come!
Guys, they're gonna come!
They're gonna come!
They're coming!
They're finally coming!
You ain't got
Oh, look at them! Look at these beautiful old men.
Dude, that quick shot of them at the end.
Yeah.
You know what it reminds me of? Is the first teaser... you know I make this comparison every episode. The first teaser to Force Awakens... that you just see all the new characters,
yeah,
and then it ends with Han saying, "Chewie,
yeah,
we're home." Star Wars. Dude, that's what that felt like.
Oh my god, it just got me. I did not think it would get me the way it got me. But like when Blink came back in 2009, they were serious.
Mm-hmm.
Like they made the first song was "All These Demons Keep Me Up at Night" was the chorus of the first song back.
Right.
And then they come back with jizz jokes.
Yes.
And a song called Edging.
And the clip at the forefront is Tom singing.
Yeah, and his voice sounds incredible.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing I noticed about this clip is that his voice sounds like old Tom. He's not straining intentionally the way he did before with Blink.
Yeah.
Everything about this just feels like a better, healthier reunion than before.
Absolutely.
Like, it felt like they kind of had to reunite in 2009. Now it feels like they're doing it for them.
Yes, that's going to be my thesis of this episode as we continue, is that we want this so bad and the marketing is playing to us, but they are not doing it for us.
Yeah. This is the next thing that comes out about an hour later.
Hi, I'm Mark Hoppus. I play bass and sing. Hi, I'm Travis. I play drums.
I'm Tom, and I'm fucking hot as fuck in this thing.
That's it, and it's just cute.
That is cute.
Cute, and the reveal of, like, they know that Tom coming back is what people are excited about.
For sure.
Fuck, yes, and we're getting more and more clips of this song, Edging. Mm-hmm. We're edging for a whole week. From Tuesday to Friday, we are Tuesday to Thursday afternoon, we're edging.
This whole thing really puts something in perspective because all week, the Chili Peppers' new album, which is the second album they put out this year. You know I'm a Chili Peppers fan. I just saw them live. Going to see them live in a couple days. Their album leaked, and I was like, I can wait a few days. I'll just wait for it to be on Spotify. Who cares?
Yeah.
And then the second, the Uplink song, not even an album leaks. I'm like, I know it's called Edging, but I can't wait. Like,
yeah,
I need to be coming as well.
Yeah. So people are freaking out, but like there's also genuine concern because we've been here before. Mm-hmm. Like this band has been such a roller coaster of they love each other, they hate each other. They never really stopped hating each other, even when they got back together. And then, like, we don't know if this is just like a farewell tour, why they're doing this, what's going on. And people are really just like hounding Mark about it. And Mark finally said, Tom is a best friend, confidant, and soulmate. He and I will spent the whole day yesterday laughing. We all did. Blink is in a really good place. That said, he has to get kicked out of the band every few years.
Love it. Set up, punchline. You nailed it, Mark.
And just the fact that, like, I feel like they couldn't make jokes like that when they got back together last time because everyone was on eggshells all the time.
You sent me a clip after we had been done doing the podcast of, like, them making fun of each other's solo songs during that last reunion tour.
Yeah.
And it was uncomfortable.
Yeah. Like, they seem to be doing it for, like, money or just who knows why they did it before, but, like, they're doing it.
I think they did it before because they thought they needed to do it for us. And I think between Travis and Mark and the possibility of losing both, I think this time they're doing it for them. That's why it feels genuine, like when we genuinely fell in love with them. And of course, like, I'm going to read into all this and get Galaxy Brain over everything. It's what I do. I can't help it. But I don't know. It feels right.
Yeah. But then Tom starts doing this stuff again.
Yes.
What if I were to tell you we just made the album of our career? I wouldn't believe you, Tom, and I never do.
This Reddit gets it right sometimes. Like, the first guy to to screenshot this and post it. The subject of it is looks like he's doing it again.
Big things are coming. And big things finally came. Tom has been edging us for years with big things are coming.
Yeah, this is the biggest thing. You unearthed UFOs, Tom, and nobody cared. This is what made the news, bro.
And Mark just goes, Tom wasn't quiet at all. He told everyone that'd listen, literally walking around shows telling everyone the band is back together. Like, someone tackle him. I hate him so much.
Which him being able to say I hate him shows so much they're in a good spot.
Yeah, I thought it was really funny.
I really try to check myself with like parasocial relationship stuff, like, but this stuff really gets my heart going, man.
Yeah,
I feel it.
And a lot of the Gen Z fans and people that came on board with Matt are taking like a really weird approach to this that I couldn't see because I was so blinded by Tom being back, but people being like, wow, they're really just fucking over Matt and like not talking to Matt or anything.
I was like, can you guys give it a day?
Yeah, it's time to celebrate now. I'm sure they didn't just Klinghoffer Matt.
Right. For those who don't know, Josh Klinghoffer, the replacement guitarist of the Red Hot Chili Peppers after John Frusciante left. Frusciante like mentored him, so he fit perfectly in there. And then the second Frusciante said I wanted to be back in the band, they just posted a thing on Instagram that said, hey, Frusciante's back. Thanks, Josh. You've been great, but we're taking Frusciante back. Klinghoffer hears this on the radio news in his car on the way to record WTF with Mark Maron, and you can hear him react to that live.
I need to listen to that.
I mean, it's a pretty good interview for how much he was trying to cope with that insanity. Yeah. But yeah, I understand that concern with Matt, but it's like...
I did message Matt on Instagram to see if we could WTF him with this podcast.
No answer.
No answer
for a guy that's not active on social media. But I said this on the last episode that I was like, the reason I'm not giving up hope is because John Frusciante had just released an album with the Chili Peppers. I was like, if that could happen, it was something I never thought would happen. And now I'm seeing Frusciante with the Peppers again. I feel like they saw the money rolling in from like Chili's stadium tour in the exact same situation.
But like, I get it because Blink developed a new fan base and found a new sound and did some things with Matt that some people enjoy.
Yeah.
And people are concerned that like now I'm going to go see Blink and they're not going to play any of my favorite songs from 9 in California.
Right. Klinghoffer didn't really do that. They just released more albums and kept the same Chili Peppers fans. It's not like a new generation of people came in.
And when Chili Peppers got back together, they don't play any songs from the Klinghoffer albums.
No, at all. They've had 4 guitarists and they're playing only Frusciante songs.
So people are hassling Mark in his Discord about this. Like, are y'all going to play anything from these albums? What about from Dogs Eating Dogs? And he finally responds, the entire Blink-182 catalog will be celebrated on this tour.
That's a great, solid response.
Yeah, the entire catalog. I'm expecting Neighborhoods, Dogs Eating Dogs. I'm expecting
song.
Buddha. And I am so excited to hear what Tom does with Matt's songs. I really only expect like maybe Bored to Death and Dark Side or something like that.
Generational Divide would be so good.
I want them to open with that.
That'd be great. What if it's like a section of the show, like Matt's on tour with them and he just comes out and plays with them for a few minutes?
Yeah, I would love that. I mean, I was hoping for a 4-piece, but this is fine.
Mm-hmm.
So people are still like, I can't believe they're not going to say anything about Matt. This is all like 6 hours after the announcement. People are freaking out. Like, they're just going to leave Matt behind. Matt is on tour with Alkaline Trio, his main band he's been in for 30 years.
His Blink-182.
Yeah. You know, the band that also is like wildly successful and people love that he
influenced
fronts. Blink. And Tom posts on Instagram a screenshot of a text that he sends to Matt, which felt pretty, Sure. But he says, hey, Matt, Tom DeLong here. I wanted to take a minute and say thank you for all that you've done to keep the band alive and thriving in my absence. I think you are enormously talented. I still love to listen to your band to this day. You have always been so kind to me, not only in the press, but to others. I really noticed. Emotions between the three of us and Blink have always been complicated, but Mark's cancer really put things in perspective. But to be honest, the band would not be here today if it were not for your ability to jump in and save the day. So from my heart to yours, thank you for being a member of our band.
That last sentence.
It's really sweet.
Yeah.
And just shows this massive change in the most egotistical member of this band. That I more jaded me would say that his publicist wrote this or something, but I really do see a change.
Yes, this is the warm version of the Chili Peppers Instagram post.
Yeah. I mean, you listen to that episode of Mark's radio show where he interviews Tom about 6 months ago, and they're just being buds. Like, you really do see a change in the way these people are talking about and to each other.
And Mark kept saying to us over the past couple of years, like, that's what it's about. Like, we're just enjoying being friends right now. Like, if things go well that way, clearly music did come, but that was more important to us. We wanted them to be friends and not release music more than we wanted them to release music as business partners.
Yep. I mean, really, just seeing them hanging out. And so one more clip before we get to the song. This is another promo they posted yesterday. What does edging mean to you?
Obviously, perverts like you know it's all about having an orgasm.
Oh, it's easy. Edging is lawn care.
Fun fact, my wife and I invented edging.
The Kardashians would love to say they invented something, so...
They call it kedging, just to brand it. Speaking of these dumb Redditors, and I don't mean to be like every other podcast and just talk about the dumb people that talk about things, but I did see a post that was like, why is it called edging? I don't get it. And it was like, it could not be more clear. Like, we've been wanting a release from Blink-182 with Tom forever, and they've been holding off on releasing it. They've been teasing us. Literally the definition of edging. How does it not? It's one of the best jokes they've ever made as a band.
Yeah.
And we made a podcast to talk about how funny they were before this great joke. Like, they still got it.
The media's flipping out at this point, and we get nice local news clips like this.
You might be asking yourself, what's my age again? Blink-182 is getting back together. Thank you, Sarah. The original members, Tom DeLong, Mark Hoppus, Travis Barker, touring for the first time in a decade. They will be at Capital One Arena and in Baltimore in May of next year. And we know if anybody is excited for the hits of the late 90s, it's Marina Morocco. Yeah. Are you psyched?
I was never a big fan of Blink-182. I'm not an emo girl. Were they emo? I don't even know what they
So, they have gone all out on the press to the point where they're paying local news channels to talk about this, and they're not happy to be talking about this. I was never a fan. Why am I here? Why am I talking about this?
You know what? A thing is happening that sort of confuses me. When they announced the Weird Al movie with Daniel Radcliffe, I saw social media explode with everyone's excitement. Now, for 30 years, I've been a fucking weirdo nerd for loving Weird Al this much, and suddenly Daniel Radcliffe gets involved, and I'm like, why are all of you people in the world pretending like... If Weird Al was this popular, I would have not felt like a weirdo for the last 3 decades.
Kourtney Kardashian got involved.
With Blink?
Yeah.
Sure, but that doesn't explain the phenomenon with Weird Al.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, you're saying
Daniel
Kourtney is Daniel Radcliffe?
Yeah.
I see.
It just takes one big celebrity.
That's a Galaxy Brain thing. The marriage was just a promotional tool for Blink's reunion a year ahead of time. Ooh. Tom's good at this. And they are aliens. Look at the Kardashians. They don't look like real people.
No, that is another thing, is that I don't truly believe the Kardashians to be humans. So
Tom's just trying to get closer to the aliens that will take him to the mothership.
That's it right there.
So a leak comes out, and we listen to it a day early.
Yeah.
And it didn't sound that good.
So the truth is, a leak didn't come out. It was just already Friday in New Zealand. England.
Oh. Well, still, they did not get a quality rip of that single. And at first, I was a little underwhelmed because I was like, this sounds like shit. And then I realized it was just the recording. I was like, I'm going to wait a day.
Yeah, let's do it. We've been edging this whole episode. We've been talking for a while. Let's hear Edging by Blink-182.
All right, you listeners can watch if you want. Watch me. Come. Wanna play? I love that song.
Yeah, it gets better with each listen.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I wasn't that impressed at first, but this happens with every first single from my favorite bands. I'm always underwhelmed at first.
Your expectations are too high.
Yeah, exactly.
It sounds like a California song with Tom.
I hear it all. I hear California. The flangery effect on the opening drums are obviously supposed to be reminiscent of Feeling This to me. And the production's, like Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, sort of, but California as well.
It just feels like when they went back in to write, they said, what people like about this band is that we're fun. Let's be fun again.
Mm-hmm.
And this song it's got that nice poppy beat. It's fun. It would fit on Take Off Your Pants and Jacket.
It would. I think it's just genuine. I don't think they were trying to please anyone. I think they just this is what came out. I listened to, shout out to the 155 podcast. It's a Blink podcast, Blink 155. And I listened to Mark's interview with them. And
how the fuck did they get him?
They were around for years.
Okay.
I don't know. He only talked to them for like 10 minutes or whatever.
Okay.
But he talked about how I wouldn't know how to write a certain song for a certain type of song. He's like, I just write and it comes out, and that's me expressing myself. Like, I'm not trying to appeal to a trend ever or anything like that. And this just feels like Tom and Mark collaborating and Travis as good friends.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like I'm being marketed to with it, even though I am.
Make of the Blink-182 songs that I've forced you to listen to, where does that one stand?
I mean, pretty high up. I mean, I think that it helped that I just so much anticipation was building.
The edging.
Yeah. And so I had the chance to get excited about it.
So Mark talked about in one of his Twitch streams a Blink song called Punk Kid that they wrote in the Dogs Eating Dog sessions. And the second part of the first choruses starts with the line, I'm a punk rock kid.
Whoa.
So a lot of people think this is that Punk Kid song that they wrote 10 years ago.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But I assume reworked.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously updated. Let's talk about the song before the video.
Yeah.
Because I listened to it a dozen times before I saw the video.
Same. That's only the second time I've seen the video.
Yeah, me too.
Pull up the lyrics real quick.
Great call. Okay, so structurally, it's just fucking brilliant. Obviously, they put Tom front and center at the start. And you hear Mark in there with the get the rope. Yeah, don't you know? And then Tom's still in the spotlight in the chorus, and you're like, oh, okay, so I guess I was expecting more of a Up All Night thing where they're back and forth through the whole thing to illustrate a reunion. But I guess they're just doing a Tom song as the one back because Tom's the one we've been missing. And I love how they each get their own verse. But here's my galaxy brain about this, is the structuring of it is so brilliant in that Mark and Tom are together in the first verse. And then the second verse, which is Mark's verse, Tom does not back up Mark with the Like a Ghost or Hit the Road. So the song mirrors the arc of their career, where it starts with Tom and Mark, and then it's just Mark, and then it goes back to Tom and Mark together.
Okay.
Good observation.
The lyrics are just so Blink-182.
What do you think the song's about?
Them.
Adolescence, once again. That's why I think it feels so Take Off Your Pants. It's very... looking back on something. Still got the humor.
Yeah. She tried to pray it away, so I fucked her in church. The auteur theory is the filter I run every thought through when I'm thinking about people I'm obsessed with. But I find it impossible to not think about this as a song about them. They're singing about themselves. But what's the opening lines Tom says?
I ain't that cool little fucked in the head.
They'll be hanging me quick when I'm back from the dead. Get the rope. So I think it's sort of a song about how, like, look, you guys want us to be back together, and we're back together, but we're going to fuck up and disappoint you soon.
Yeah.
Like, I'm back from the dead, but you're going to find a reason to be pissed real quick. And they did with the Matt Skiba thing. Like,
yeah.
Like, this is a song about how, like, we can't please you. Whatever we do, you complain about. Where's Tom? Why are you doing Angels and Airwaves? Like they're not doing this for us is the point of this song, and I think the video backs it up.
Yeah. Do we want to talk the video?
Sure, yeah. So the video is really cute. It's set at a carnival type thing, carnival setting. They're playing in like a tent. They're doing knife throwing.
Well, it opens with the original logo.
Oh.
The bunny.
Right.
And it features the giant bunny in the background. Something I noticed in this run of watching it that kind of blew my mind, and I'm wondering, like, did you notice what guitar Tom was using and what bass Mark was using?
I caught the guitar.
It's the Boxcar Racer guitar. And the bass, another very distinct bass, it's the plus 44 bass.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So that was Boxcar Racer and plus 44 were the first two side projects when they broke up.
When they weren't together.
Like plus 44 is full of songs about fuck you, Tom, and Boxcar Racer is like what really pissed Mark off.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels very much like we're burying this drama. We're using these instruments that were used against each other together. And
we've said it before, but like them having to separate and come back together is part of this band's dynamics. Like they need it in order to move forward over and over again. It's beautiful. So in the video, Travis catches a knife that's being thrown at him in his mouth. Like death was coming straight for him and he avoids it.
The plane crash, yeah. He's also shirtless in this video.
Mm-hmm.
For the, like, I guess I haven't been paying attention to him live recently, but like that was a thing that we talked about, is how post plane crash he was really hesitant to be shirtless on stage anymore, and we kind of thought it had to do with like the plane crash.
Yeah,
but he's covered in new tattoos. And he looks great.
I mean, he looks amazing.
Travis is looking great. They all look great, but they also all are showing their age.
Yeah, they're not trying to hide it at all, and I love that. A gray hair mohawk says so much. It's so cool.
Very sexy.
I was hoping to see Travis a couple weeks ago at Firefly because I saw both Willow and Avril Lavigne.
He was in the studio.
Yeah, exactly. Now I'm glad I didn't see him. I did see All Time Low play All the Small Things with Avril. It wasn't planned, but they did it. And by the way, Avril, one of the worst shows I've ever seen in my life.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, she just has she's not excited to be there at all. I don't think she likes making music.
Well, she is a clone.
Yeah.
Or
just
a
like
body
Tom.
double.
Just like Tom.
Does All Time Low have any anything to do with Blink-182? Or is it just...
They're just influenced by him. Oh.
They share a producer on Blink's worst albums and All Time Low's best albums.
Interesting.
All Time Low feels like they had the same impact on people about 5 years younger than me that Blink had.
Yeah.
Like they are like like half a generation below me's Blink-182.
Yep. Absolutely.
I don't know if they were that popular though, because honestly, I kind of feel like I was in that same generation. I didn't vibe with them that much, but
I didn't know a single one of their songs, and I was in that crowd, and that crowd was fucking hype for them. They have a lot of fans.
Well, you know what? I think passionate fans are more of a big deal than having a lot of fans.
That's true. Absolutely.
Well, that's kind of what I mean, is that they were really impactful to the people that they hit at the right time. And I was just a couple years like out of that loop when they came around.
Mm-hmm. Same here. I didn't know any of their songs. I mean, my girlfriend played a few on the way to the festival, so I'd like be familiar. But watching them, it felt like the Enema Strikes Back. Like their banter back and forth on stage, just making jokes the whole time. it was so reminiscent of that. They are a young Blink-182.
Good.
It's really fun. I totally see how kids got into them the exact same way we did into Blink.
Yeah.
But I would like to note, in the same year as the slap, I did make hand contact with a Smith, and it was amicable. So perhaps I'm a better comedian than Chris Rock.
What?
What happened?
Willow grabbed my hand and squeezed it, and it was all great.
Was Willow great? I bet Willow's great live.
Willow ended her set 20 minutes early and didn't really explain it, and every time she like did a off the cuff like cerebral intro to a song, she'd look at the band and say, "Let's run it like it's a practice."
Okay.
She was off and weird, but she was very entertaining, and like when she ran through the crowd and grabbed my hand, she looked me right in the eyes and smiled big, and she seemed like a good person to me.
Cool. Right on. Other things about that video, they kill the bunnies.
Yeah, so you had a take on what this meant.
I think it's another... I think Mark said, once again, there's no symbolism in this video. Stop reading into this video. It's a fun video. But bullshit, because the guitars. But also, they're killing the old logo. And then, after they throw a bunch of knives at these bunnies, they walk through and throw roses on them. So it's like killing it, but showing it respect.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like there is very much we have buried the hatchet.
Putting the past behind us.
Yeah.
I like that, and that makes more sense than what I'm about to say, but this is how I took it. Like, there are different shots of you as the camera on the Ferris wheel with each individual member. So we're going on the ride of Blink-182 with them. And... you know, the phrase fucking like rabbits, like there's a million of us. Like I see us as the rabbits. We're the fucking little bunnies that all they're fucking made. And by killing all the rabbits, they're saying we are not here for you. Like we are here at this carnival for each other. We're walking out together. Yeah. Like peace later they do the peace sign at the end of like, no hard feelings, but this is not about you, is how I took it.
Yeah.
And I feel like Mark constantly saying to quit reading and everything is the same as like when Rivers Cuomo goes like, no, none of my lyrics are about me. I'm just like trying to make a algorithmic pop song so I can get a hit. Like quit reading in it. Like it's like it's impossible not to. Even if they didn't mean any symbolism by the video, when you create art, you put yourself in it. All of that's in the video regardless. Okay, so then it's announced that the headliners of next year's When We Were Young Festival, before this year's first When We Were Young Festival has happened, still hasn't happened as of this recording.
Which is going to be a shit show.
Oh, we're about to watch Firefest Part 2, and I
really do think so.
I just bought tickets to the next one.
Yeah.
Our Green Day and Blink-182 for next year. When this one came out, Paramore, My Chemical Romance, I was like, if these were two artists I was slightly more interested in, I'd be going to Vegas. And lo and behold,
it's two artists you're slightly more interested in.
Very interested in. It's the Pop Disaster Tour Part 2.
That festival, the one next year, if I could show it to 13-year-old me, like... fucking Good Charlotte and Sum 41. And the funniest thing to me about it is all the way at the bottom in really tiny lettering is Newfound Glory, who, like, they would be giant if the main songwriter and guy who wrote all those lyrics wasn't in jail for a reason a pop-punk guitarist from the early 2000s would be in jail.
That's all you have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but he's in jail now.
I did not know
It got,
that.
worse, because he, got, fined, but did it again.
Whoa.
Yeah. Some girls are crazy. You've got to watch out for the younger ones.
Oh, no. Oh, that's bad.
Yeah. I liked that band, but I was one of the younger. You know what I mean? Like,
is that what Newfound Glory means? Oh, that's disgusting.
We should cut this.
That's disgusting. But anyway, so it's listed Green Day, Blink-182, one date. The whole thing with Pop Disaster was Green Day was pissed that Blink got to close. I think since Green Day is listed first, even though Blink has this huge return tour, I think Green Day was like, there's no fucking... We will do this double bill, but there's no fucking way Blink's going on before us.
I think Blink said the same thing.
Oh, really?
I think Blink is like, no, there's no way we are following Green Day again. They can't do it. I mean, there was that interview with Mark like only a year or two ago where he was like, yeah, they're one of the greatest live bands ever, and we made a lot of fart jokes.
Mm-hmm.
It was tough. Like,
so the bunny
called
thing
it a
in the
humbling
video
experience. Yeah.
The bunny thing in the video, Green Day opens their show with the drunken bunny. Like,
oh, yeah.
Blink's gonna perform with, I guess, no more bunny imagery.
Yeah.
And then a bunny's gonna come out, and everyone's gonna be like, I thought Blink just ended. Just to quickly transition to Green Day for a minute, this Blink announcement comes, and then like a day after, Green Day is like, something's coming out Friday. And then the song they released today, Friday, is a song called You Irritate Me. The only song we as fans think to previously be about Blink is a song called Jackass. And then after Blink announces a huge thing, Green Day releases You Irritate Me on the same day that you can buy tickets to see Green Day and Blink co-headline a show. If this is intentional, I
think it's not.
I think it's not intentional. But if it is, I think it's all in good fun a little bit. I don't know how much to trust anyone on Reddit, but someone said they read it from Mark on the Discord that this whole Blink thing wasn't even finalized till like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
The tour, the album release, everything. So like I feel like they announced this and then Green Day was like, fuck, right on the same day we're announcing this big co-headlining thing? We need something to announce to take the attention away from Blink that day too.
Dude, nobody knows about the Green Day thing.
I know, but
I barely know about it.
But I'm saying I think they had to rush it.
Yeah.
It's weird because today...
They should have waited a week.
Yeah, today is the 25th anniversary of Nimrod, but the Nimrod 25th anniversary album is coming out in January.
So you think they like rushed into like, we got to make a 25th anniversary album?
At least if they knew it was coming, I think they rushed the release of You Irritate Me as a single the same day as Edging comes out.
It's a 5 LP box set.
Yeah.
It's $140.
Uh-huh. I'm just going to stream it.
And it's the worst Green Day album.
Nimrod?
Yeah, it's the worst real Green Day album. I don't count the trilogy.
You don't like Nimrod?
It's the lowest quality Green Day album in my opinion.
I think it.
If we're not counting the trilogy,
I don't know, man.
I would put Rev Rad above it.
Oh, not me.
Yeah,
it's got stuff like Reject and Jinx. That's like true punk rock stuff.
It's got great songs on it. It is a poorly put together album of It feels like a B-sides collection.
You're about to hear what the B-sides selection of it is.
I have to pee.
Go for it.
That's all.
You've been edging this pee the whole time. We'll play a clip from You Irritate Me real quick because this did start as a Green Day podcast, but I'll just say my general opinion about this song. I think it's funny that they released it in the same vein as this, and I'll never be able to separate it, but this song irritates me. You heard this?
I haven't. I know who this is about with my little bit of Green Day knowledge and context clues.
Who? What?
It's about the guy who runs Gilman in the 90s that banned them. Same album as Platypus.
Oh.
After 86.
Sure.
And this sounds like a Mike song.
Oh, sure.
And Mike wrote those two.
This is real demo B-side stuff right here. Like, I can barely pretend to be excited by it.
Yeah, that was I didn't care for
like,
that.
You hear that and you're like, all right, I understand why that didn't make the album.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a weird thing to promote this B-side collection with.
That's why I think associating with Blink is fascinating. It's just annoying. I think they find Blink annoying, but...
Well, yeah, I mean, the Poop Disaster Tour was a mess.
Mm-hmm. A dookie.
A dookie.
Of a show. That's all the Blink news we got right now, right?
Yeah, well, we did get tickets.
We did get tickets.
We're seeing them in Baltimore.
Oh, dude, that was the most frustrating thing, trying to get tickets, man.
Well, at least we only got them for $140 and not $1,400, which is what they're going for now.
True. I'm real annoyed I couldn't get pit tickets. I'm going to work until then to get us in that pit.
Yeah.
To figure it out. But, hey, if you're going to be at the Baltimore show, hit us up. We'll say hi. Yeah, we're definitely going to do an app for that show.
The new album comes out in March.
We have a release date?
Well, everyone's pretty sure because it would be weird to tour a new album without the new album out.
Mm-hmm.
No name for it yet, but we do have the knowledge. You can pre-order it already, which I said, I think that was like, I think Mark is putting some insurance plans in, like, Mark, or like, Tom, people have paid for the album already. We have to finish it. Like, you can't quit the band until the album's done. People have pre-ordered it already.
Now, you said this in text the other day. I was like, you think there still is a possibility Tom freaks out and tries to get out of this?
No, but I understand the concern.
Yeah. Yeah, you cannot fully trust him. Mark knows better.
But the cool thing is there are 3 versions of it for pre-order. There's the Mark version, the Tom version, and the Travis version. And more, that's what they did for Take Off Your Pants and Jacket.
I'm going to order the Travis version because it won't sell out immediately.
I'm getting the Tom version.
I'm not going to order any. Mick, I just realized you didn't have to pee. You just didn't want to hear Green Day irritate you. I understand. It's an irritating song.
Did you listen to the You Irritate Me song?
It was pretty irritating.
Yeah. But thankfully, Edging was not.
Edging was great, man.
Which, by the way, Ripley and I showed up to band practice today, and we both knew how to play it. That was the nerdiest shit of all time.
I was planning to plug in and start playing it, and so were you. Yes. It was great. Like, there is a certainty that we will have a new episode next year because there will be a new album
and do tour
Well,
that's 2 shows right there.
It really did make my fucking week, man. I've been so jazzed about this.
Me too. I've barely thought about Green Day or Chili Peppers, which is saying a lot. Sarah and Cam Powers from the Deluxe California episode are going to the DC show, so I think we could get together with them and compare our shows. Definitely. But until then, I'm just very excited. I imagine, like most bands these days, there'll be a second single before the album. But either way, we'll get together before we see them live. And
a new Angels and Airwaves record is coming in the next month or 2. A live record.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that makes me feel a little better.
Yeah.
Because if he was trying to just co-opt Blink stuff to push Angel stuff...
Well, actually, that's something else I've noticed is that he hasn't really. Like, the Angels and Airwaves news has been strictly on their social media and not even on Tom's social media. Like, the Angels and Airwaves stuff about the new live album hasn't been attached to this, and he's not doing that. And I think that's really a step in the right direction.
Who's the producer?
Oh, Alon Rubin.
From Angels.
Yeah, and 9 Inch Nails and all those things. Alon Rubin is producing the new Blink album, him and Travis. You've got 2 drummers working on it together.
Nice.
And I love that. I love that they're putting elements of all of their solo projects, all of their side projects into this. And I'm so excited.
It's beautiful. It's like embracing the past to move forward and let go of it.
Definitely.
Which is what life's all about.
Yep.
Come see our AFI cover band in Richmond, October 29th. Fuzzy Cactus. Be there like a Nimrod. Be there and be inside a square.
There you go.
Like the Nimrod album.
It's gonna be good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I feel adequately pleasured.
Yep. I've edged long enough.
Yep. Mick, you feel good?
I've had my release. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Solid release. If you guys are still listening after this long break, thank you so much. Please, please leave us a review and rate us on Spotify and Apple Music so other people find it easy to find the show. It'll take you 10 seconds to do it in both places.
Yeah.
It would just be very helpful to us, and we appreciate it. How do we sign off on this show? We don't have a sign off?
We messed around with different things, but we hope you have came.
Excellent.
Edge-cellent? Okay.